This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Icon podcast. I am your host, as always, Gianna. And today we have the opportunity of talking to Paul. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to know you, Paul. So let's jump right in. Take us back to the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you find yourself in real estate?
Wow. The beginning of my real estate career was graduated from college, 1998. From FAU in Boca Raton, Florida, originally from Maryland. So this was my actually first job out of college. And even though the success rate isn't as high as it should be, I'm still here 23 years later and work in the Palm Beach County, Florida market, and blessed to have a lot of successes along the road.
Absolutely. And Paul, obviously you've been in real estate for over 20 years. So that means EXP wouldn't have been your first brokerage. So how were you introduced to EXP? Breaking up with brokerages is hard. So, go into detail about that process and why you opted to make that move after so much experience in the industry.
Great question. So, I started off at Kai's company, which I called kind of aging myself, called off the newspaper ad, and I got a job there. I was excited to get a job, even though I didn't realize they didn't pay any money. So I got my first job at Kai's company in 1998. I hooked up with one of the top agents in the area. He became my, unofficial mentor. We opened up a mom and pop real estate company, which I stayed at for 5 years. Once I kind of outgrew the mom and pop system, I joined RE/MAX in 2004. Had a very successful career there. Finished, the number one ranked real estate broker in the state of Florida. And, so I was there 14, 15 years. My vision was to kind of grow a team. I really couldn't do it under the RE/MAX structure. The fees were just too high to attract the next generation of successful agents. So somebody introduced me to EXP about 4 years ago. The day I heard about it, I didn't know much about it. I said, all right, great. I want to open up an office in Delray and Boca. Let me buy a franchise. And he said, no, it doesn't work that way. But, we did end up opening those offices, and that's kind of been one of our value added propositions for the agents that join the team. Even though, we pay for the office ourselves. They're not EXP, they're branch offices. And it's been great. And, I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary, October 1st of this year.
Awesome. That's really a great story, Paul. And now that you're over here, EXP has these awesome benefits, right? So you can have up to 3 streams of income with that rev share, stock options, and, of course, selling homes. And then they've got that sense of collaboration. They've got, the technology of the industry at your fingertips there for you as a resource. So that being said, what's your favorite part about EXP? What keeps you here? What keeps you from, swapping it to another brokerage?
Well, I can put this on record. I will retire at EXP. It's not as easy to walk away when you got hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars coming into the system. So, it does give the influencers in the industry the chance to monetize their name, where it used to be, for example, if they were interviewing somebody at RE/MAX, they would say, why don't you join the Saperstein team, without even me knowing about it. So they're leveraging my name in the background. Here, EXP is very, encouraging of self-branding. So we're basically doing that for them. And, I came here for the cap. And it was just a huge pay increase, from what I was doing at RE/MAX. And I fell in love with the people. So I came for the money, fell in love with the people. And that's what keeps you here. The culture, the collaboration, the referrals. It just, even though the company's virtual, if you walked into our office, either our office in South Florida, you would think that it's not a virtual based real estate company. You will see and feel the love in the offices. So.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And, I've had somebody correct me. It's not a culture here at EXP. It's a community. And I really liked to, share that with people because it's true. And it just kind of speaks levels about the morale and the essence that EXP gives off as a brokerage that you're not going to find at other places. And Paul, let's talk about your personal life, right? So I'm sure you got family, friends, stuff you like to do outside of work, but real estate industry, it can swallow you whole if you let it, right? You can be fielding phone calls at all hours of the day or setting up showing appointments every day of the week. So, Paul, how do you draw that line? What do your boundaries look like?
Great question. So I am married with three beautiful wife, three lovely kids. We actually this summer we got the first chance to be empty nesters for the first time in a long time.
Wow.
The little one's at sleepaway camp. Middle one moved to started college, and the older one bought his own house. So it's been a great summer. The boundaries, it takes years to. It's like you're spending money to get the phone to ring, but then when the phone rings, we have to decide whether or not to answer it. But if you've been in the business long enough, like I have, you'll realize that 95% of your phone calls are not income. I mean, you're not going to make money on them.
Right.
You don't know until you answer the call. I mean, but some of the other technology that I have, we're using different marketing phone numbers, so I do know when it's a lead, when it's a personal call. And I did shift about 3 years ago to 100% listing side. So I'm not really at the mercy of the buyers or listing agents anymore. So you kind of set your own destiny. And that was kind of changing where, you do have the entire MLS working for you instead of you working for them. So that was the shift. And I mean, that's everybody's goal as a real estate agent, residential real estate, is become a listing agent. So, and it's scary to kind of, take that leap of faith where you say, you know what, I'm going to do enough listings that I won't have to take out buyers unless they're family members. So no more answering calls at dinner. I do try to spend a lot of time with the wife and the kids on the weekends. The agents on my team, I try to keep the phone calls from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Obviously it's an emergency. They'll text me. They're very polite, appreciative. But yeah, it's the boundaries aren't set in stone, and obviously, deals go off the rails. End of the month is busy. Monday is hectic, but it's, just try to keep the consistency and know that you're available. I do have a full-time, he's actually a broker as well. So if I ever do need personal time, if I go on vacation, I do forward my phone. So at least somebody does answer the phone all the time. And you'd be surprised at how much business you get from answering your phone. Somebody might call 3 or 4 agents like, oh my God, you're the first one to answer the phone. So I do pride myself in being available, but there definitely has to be a separation or the burnout rate can be extremely high.
So Paul, it seems like you have this work-life balance thing down where you're able to, draw boundaries in your business. You choose who you get to do business with. You said you're focusing on listings, so that's really cool. And then you get to spend weekends with the wife and the fam and, pretty cool on being an empty nester this summer. Hoping you enjoy it. I'm sure it'll go by quick. But, and beyond that, Paul, just quick question. Did you sell your son his home or,
Yeah, that's the only house I represented the buyer in the last 12 months was okay. One deal. Super proud of my son. He's turning 22. He's on his second house. He's paid cash for both of them and just
excuse me. That's crazy. I'm 24 and just closed on my first home and it's been impossible, but obviously, did he live at home with you guys?
He lived at home till he wanted to buy a house before he was 18, but you can't sign a contract. So he did wait till he was 18, moved out, bought a house. We sold that. He bought his second house. And, I think they'll be starting a family soon.
So cool, Paul. I'm sure you're proud. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing some details there. But Paul, let's talk production a little bit now. And iconing, right? That's why you're here. You're an icon agent on the Icon podcast. Pretty cool. Top 3% of the company, if I'm probably like 2.5. There's only about 2,400 icon agents. So that's really cool. So Paul, let's talk production. What's that average housing price look like for you in your area in Florida? And how many houses do you need to sell to be able to cap out?
So my average sale price is actually lower because I specialize in the senior market.
Mhm.
So before I became a listing agent, I kind of studied the sales, why people are moving, who's moving, how often they're moving. I just got to turn off the printer. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
How often they're moving, and I decided to work the senior market.
Okay.
So again, my average sale price is lower than the average sale price in Palm Beach County. So my average sale price, I think, is somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably would take me, 8 or 10 transactions to cap, and then another 20 deals. So it would take, I think the magic number, it's probably pretty close around the country, is probably 30 plus deals, 2.5 to 3 deals a month. Last year was my best year. I think I personally closed 233 transactions, and I think the volume was like 50 or 60 million. So
awesome. That's awesome. And I always like to ask that question to be able to kind of gauge what different icons are up against, right? So in Alaska, they've got to sell a lot more homes than they have to do in Los Angeles, California.
mm-hmm.
Excuse my voice. But anyway, so that's a great question to kind of gauge where you're at. And then my next question is going to be, beyond production, beyond just selling homes and making a commission, you also have to step back and really put yourself into the culture at EXP, whether you're mentoring or teaching or vetting other icons. You have that cultural commitment to get that other half of your cap back. So Paul, that being said, what is your cultural commitment and why do you choose to go with that?
So my first couple of years of the culture commitment were actually interviewing other icon agents. Mm-hmm. This year they did change that. I didn't, we run a huge team here in South Florida, so I did not have the time to teach on the classes. So I didn't end up capitalizing on the second half of my cap, and I didn't go to the national events either. So it's, my culture requirement is more, geared to the team, not so much, to get the $8,000 back from
sure.
EXP. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And, gearing it towards your team and being able to, invest in them kind of helps you in the long run anyway, commission wise. It kind of just makes up for itself, which is great. And, the value to your team and to the people that you care about, we love to hear that. And Paul, for my last question, when it comes to your Icon Award, it's going to be what's your favorite part, right? So you're earning cap back in stock. You get the opportunity to go to EXP Con and shareholders, and gosh, what else? A big glass shiny trophy, reputability.
They changed it this year. It's a new cool shape.
Yeah, I did notice that when people have been showing me on it. Yeah. Okay, so that's the new trophy?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Okay, so I've seen that one and I've seen the old one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing the difference now. It's kind of getting sucked into your background, but we get the gist.
Yeah. So
what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is actually that they actually recognize you. It's not even so much about the $8,000. It's the only company that I've worked at that they actually do kind of give you an attaboy, pat on the back. Mm-hmm. Hey, we know you're something special, and we want to congratulate you. And that's probably goes a lot longer than the $8,000 that we get back. Most icon agents are making easy 6 figures, so it's just a thank you from the company that it's probably the most valuable. So.
Sure, I love that.
And referrals too. The Icon referral group. I mean, I can tell all the people listening to the podcast in 4 years, I've got more EXP referrals than I did in my first 20 years of my real estate career.
Isn't that crazy? That's awesome though. And just part of what makes being an icon agent, so worth it, and keeping that on your list of not only goals, but on like a standard for yourself, right? Something that you definitely expect from yourself every year. And Paul, for somebody that is maybe new to EXP, either they're a rookie or they've just come over for another brokerage, what does iconing in their first year look like for them? Is that going to be possible? What are some major mistakes to avoid? And, just some advice for them to be able to achieve such a crazy, awesome goal.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. I mean, the goal we set for the new agents that work on the team here is to cap. That way they're not turning down any business. They're working, excuse me, every lead that comes in. The mistake I see a lot of agents where they're coming up short of hitting the icon status is they're only working a certain price range. They're only working a certain price range when they still have to complete their 20 transactions. They're out of their comfort zone and they're not giving the customer service that they should. And they're having trouble closing deals that are not in their wheelhouse. So, even though it sounds like every time I explain the icon program to top producers, they say, oh, that's easy. I can do that very fast. What happens is you might have a slow quarter. You might have one good sale to get you there, but then you got to do 20 more deals. So it's always, I think, I close about 20 deals a month. So I think the longest it's taken me was about 3 or 4 months to icon. But everybody that on our team that hits icon is always scratching and clawing right at the deadline. I don't know how they figured out the mathematics so well, but and it was kind of cool. I mean, if the word could get out there. So it's $5,000 post cap transaction fees. I think this year will be the first time that I actually did $10,000 post cap transaction fees. Maybe they should come out with the double icon award. We don't.
I agree.
But it'd be
I
cool
think seriously, the past 5 guests that I've had on this, Paul, are like, we want more. We want higher bar to set, right? So, and I think, EXP may not be doing like a double icon award, but it looks like maybe after the shareholders breakfast, they're looking to make iconing a little bit of a more elite status.
Okay.
Cool. So, they introduced like a point system to make that cultural commitment a little more complex. And, I would imagine they might be upping the production requirements within the next several years because people want a higher bar to shoot for, which is crazy, but I respect it. And, Paul, it's a tough goal to icon within your first year, but leaning into your mentors, focusing on that production, taking, every deal that comes your way, because those 20 transactions, they matter. You don't want to miss iconing by 2 transactions. And it's happened.
Yep.
Which would definitely suck. So Paul, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was first introduced to you? Like from being in the game for a while, did it seem too good to be true?
No. And I was, I was the first top agent probably in the Palm Beach County area to come over, which kind of made it exciting for me when somebody introduced me to EXP, the fact that I hadn't heard of it. And I actually just truly paid attention to, I didn't care what the name of the company was. I just truly paid attention to what they offered. It was a no-brainer. As soon as you start talking to your friends and family, oh, I've never heard of them. Who else is there? When did they open? Have you talked to the leaders? You could get an opinion. You could talk yourself out of anything in the world, the more opinion you get. So I just put my head down. I focused. And when I met with the Remax brokers, they said, EXP, I've never heard of it. I said, that's why I love it. I said, you're gonna hear of it soon. I may as well be the first agent to make the shift. And I think when I started 4 years ago at EXP in the state of Florida, there was like 700 or 800 agents. It's now 9,000 agents in the state of Florida. And it's, we've changed brokers 3 times. Each time has been an improvement. They're scaling up. They know what their pulse is on the, way ahead of where it should be. It's crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, EXP is a flagship, right? And it is it's blazing a trail. Other brokerages are trying to copy it, but it's not going to be, think about the stock here. Think about the level of established that EXP is. They've put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into getting ahead of other brokerages, and that pace. As long as we keep it growing and keep it going, we're over 83,000 agents. It's not really a matter of if you come over; it's when. So agents that are maybe looking to make the move, Paul, or they're skeptical. They see the greener grass, but they're nervous to break up with their broker and come over, and they hear that EXP is a pyramid scheme and a cult and all these crazy things that other brokers make up. So what would you two options. What would you say to your past self to get you to have made the move sooner? Or what would you say to somebody watching right now to kind of nip them in the butt to make the move?
Two great questions. I don't think I would have made the move earlier. It was kind of the perfect storm. The Remax was closing the office that I was working out of. I was having my best year at the time, so I was starting to already question how much I was paying them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really just being at the right place at the right time. So, I don't know that I would actually moved any sooner. So it was a good fit. The only skepticism that we hear is all you guys do is recruit at EXP. I mean, it's not a small company anymore. I mean, I think in the United States we're bigger than Remax now. So if they choose to still ignore that we're actually a productive real estate company here, and the fact that they like in any different sports, they're paying the best agent to come here. So
Sure.
if the top echelons of agents is here and they're being compensated for it, why would other people not want to follow? If you walk into any regular brokerage now, they're going to try to say, you know what, it's very hard to make it. Why don't you talk to the top agent here, join his team or her team, and that way they're out of the broker's hair. Here we have that organically anyway, because you have these 7 levels of people willing to help you. Yes, it does help a little more if they are local, where you could see, touch,
Sure.
and feel the agents in your area. So I can tell you, out of the 90 agents that I've sponsored, everyone has been local. Everyone has been in Palm Beach County. So my reach, when I sponsor somebody, I do want to be able to actually teach them what I'm, my whole, playbook from start to finish. And that's why an out-of-state sponsor for me, I did feel like I would maybe doing that agent a disservice. I don't have the relationships with the different brokers. I don't know how to do business there. I don't know how to write a competitive offer. So I really have only sponsored people that are within 30 minutes of my local office.
Sure. Okay, that definitely makes sense, and it's a nice boundary to draw to make sure that you're there and you're involved with them. But that's not always the case too. You are able to do mentorships and sponsorships from across the country if you so choose. I have people looking to do it internationally, right? They're getting ready to go to Italy and Europe to spread the good word of the EXP to other agents out there. So it's a cool opportunity if you're looking not to stay within only your market, but that's a great option too, just kind of depending on the type of teacher and learning environment that you like.
The one more thing I want to and I don't and a lot of people ask me, oh, teach me what you do for agent attraction. I don't sell EXP. There's really nothing to sell. It's a platform to work on. It's a great community feel. And really, if you think about it, it doesn't have to be a perfect fit. It really just has to be better than where they're at now. So I feel like sometimes, no matter what brokerage you're at, people kind of throw up on you about their brokerage. Like, I don't really talk much about revenue share, stock. I want to get these people in production, fall in love with the company, and then it'll sell itself. And that's, the way it should be done. And a lot of people who have, brought people over to EXP, promised when the world didn't happen. And then you could get a bad name that way as well. So I don't want anything, my name attached with anything that was somebody regretted coming over here.
Absolutely. I love that, Paul. And, we're looking to attract agents. Nobody wants to sell EXP. You go to the mall and those kiosk people are like, here, right? And nobody likes that feeling. And so, here at EXP, they try to avoid that feeling. They want you to feel like, it's your idea to come over because it is your career. And EXP is really just like the skeleton. It's just bones for you to build your brand on. And that's important to understand when, conducting your research about making the move.
Yep.
Well, Paul, we're coming up on over 25 minutes here. I think it's been an awesome episode. Do you have, anything that you'd like to wrap it up with today as we say goodbye?
Sure. So anybody, even if you're not in our organization and you need help, you need to reach out. I'm always around. You can find me on Facebook Workplace, Instagram, regular Facebook. I'll give, my phone number is 561-251-5296. My website is with my first and last name, paulsaperstein.com. And I look forward to helping the next generation agents. And it was a pleasure to be on the Icon podcast. I hope to meet the owner soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, will you be at EXPCon?
I won't. No.
Well, I was like, I'd introduce you guys there, but okay, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, we put on some conferences every year, so
Yeah.
I'll get you invited.
No,
to
I've given out the name. I don't know if anybody signed up yet, but I have given out Justin's the name of the company.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Love that. Sphere Rocket with Justin Nelson. Great company. These VAs make my world go round. So, Paul, thank you so much for your time today. I guess I won't see you in Vegas, but I hope to see you around soon.
Maybe I'll see you in Nashville one day.
Hey, I'd love to be your personal tour guide. So you let me know.
You got it. Take
Thanks,
care.
Paul. Bye.
Thank you.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.